Why language learning apps don't work and what to do about it. I have a question for you. Have you ever used an app to learn a language? And if so, on a scale from 1 to 10, how satisfied were you with the results? And I mean the results that you got from the app, not just the results from your study in general. Now, if you were not too satisfied with the results, if you found that you weren't really able to speak after specifically using that app, be it Duolingo, Memrise, Busuu, you name it, if you are not too satisfied with your results, don't worry, it is normal. Have you ever heard the phrase, it's not what you do, it's how you do it? Well, in the case of language learning, it is 100% not true. And to illustrate this, let me tell you a story. By the way, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Angèle Préto. I am a holistic French learning coach, and I love creating new techniques and new resources to help my students learn French faster and more easily. If you are learning French, please make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell so that you are notified whenever I go live. That happens every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and also when I create new videos like this one. I promised you a story. Have you ever heard of Tim Ferriss? He's the famous author of this book, The 4-Hour Workweek. And you might also know that he didn't only write The 4-Hour Workweek. He wrote The 4-Hour Chef, The 4-Hour Body. Basically, whenever a subject was popular enough that he could write a 4-hour book and also sell it to many people, well, he wrote the book. Unfortunately for us, language learning is not such a popular topic, especially not in the US, so he did not actually write a book for our language or whatever, and very few people know that he actually did adapt his technique to learning languages. He just didn't write the book, but he made the technique. Tim Ferriss at some point of his career was in Japan, and as a monolingual adult English speaker, he was faced with the challenge of having to learn Japanese. Now that sounds challenging enough, but guess what? He managed to pull it off in 6 months. Really? So yeah, you probably want to know how he did it, right? So he first started by trying to use methods and going to classes, but he found that it was extremely slow. So instead, he found a poster that had the 100 most frequent or most useful words of the Japanese language, and he started by learning those 100 words. And that is how he got started learning Japanese, and then he built it up from there. And his conclusion was, and I quote, when it comes to language learning or to learning any topic, content beats method every time. The thing is, 100 well-chosen words don't take a lot of time to learn, and they can take you very, very far. Whether you're just beginning right now, or if you are already an intermediate learner, if you select very carefully your 100 next words, it can take you very, very far. In fact, linguists have counted how many words some natives use in their daily life, and the French natives who use the fewer words use as few as 500 words. So you can see that if you learn 100 words and you learn the right one, you're already 1/5 of the way there. So the first step to learn a language successfully is to choose the right content, and by the right content I mean the content that is right for you, because if you're a lawyer, you are not going to speak the same way that a football coach would or that a teenager would. It's a different language. It is true in English, it is true in French, it is true in every language. So this distinction is really critically important, because this is where language learning apps fail mostly. That is the main reason why language learning apps fail. Language learning apps are chronically bad at helping the student choose what is right for them. Most of the time they will impose the same content on everybody. Now, like I said, this is the first step of the language learning process, and there are another 4 steps, and I have called this process the SAIS process, or the SAIS process, because it spells the word say as in je sais, that means I know in French. And so the 4 letters SAIS stand for selection, activation, immersion, and safe practice. Now, all language learning apps that I know of are chronically bad at the first step, but you can find apps that will help you with the remaining 3 steps. As far as I know, no app does all 3, but you could use a combination of them. So the second step is activation, and most language learning apps that contain vocabulary or grammar do a decent job at introducing you to some content. Remember, maybe not the right content, but at least some content, and then that content becomes activated. you know, for better or worse. I mean, if it's the right content, then it's great. If it's not the right content, you're kind of wasting your time with it, but at least it gets activated. But what does that mean? Why do we need things to be activated? So the short answer is that once something is activated, your RAS, that stands for Reticular Activating System, will look for these things in your environment and will help you assimilate them and bring them into your conscious reality. But let's back up a bit. Why is activation important and what is the Reticular Activating System? Long story short, the RAS is a brain system that we all have, and it scans your environment at all times. In his book Flow, the Hungarian researcher Mihalis Csikszentmihalyi reports that your brain is flooded with about 2 million of data bits per second. However, your same brain can only process about 134 data bits per second. That's a huge loss of data. So huge, in fact, that we can't really visualize how much data 2 million data bits is versus 134. To help you visualize the huge difference between the 2 million data bits that are in your environment and the 134 that you can process subconsciously, mind you, right? You don't process all of those consciously. Like every second you are not thinking of 144 different things. It all happens subconsciously. So to help you visualize how much you process versus how much is there, imagine that this is about how thick 134 sheets of paper are. 2 million sheets of paper would be 7,500 kilometers high. That is higher than Mount Kilimanjaro. So you imagine Mount Kilimanjaro, the thickness of this book. That's how much data is lost in the processing. Now, who chooses what to keep? Your RAS, your Reticular Activating System. They choose what they keep within those Mount Kilimanjaro high amount of data to make this amount of data available to you every second. And all of this, of course, subconsciously, not consciously. This is why it is important to take into account the subconscious processing when you are learning a language. Like, to give you an example of how this works, have you ever contemplated buying a car and then you will see that car everywhere suddenly? It's not that the cars suddenly start being everywhere. It's because when you were considering buying the car, you have activated your RAS, and your RAS now is thinking that you are looking for this car, and therefore you see the car, even though the car was always there in your environment. And that works for cars, and that works also for language learning. So you understand why it is critical to select and then activate the right things, the things that you really want to learn. Of course, none of this would matter if you are not in an environment where the right language elements can be found. And that is why step number 3, immersion, is critical. Immersion means that you surround yourself, or you are surrounded by the language that you want to learn, at least for some of the time every day. That is what I call the daily French bath on this channel. And this will provide your RAS with the right environment to find and retrieve the elements that you have chosen to learn and that you have activated in step 1 and 2. Finally, the last step, safe practice, is where you get to change your passive knowledge. You know, the first 3 steps have taught you something passively, but the last step, safe practice, is where you get to change this knowledge into the active speaking part. That is when you become actually a speaker. And I call it safe practice and not just practice, because it is 10 times easier to do it in an environment where you feel safe. That is why I insist so much in my coaching practice in providing a safe space for my students to practice before they go on to do it in the real world where the stakes are higher. Now, you need to remember that those 4 steps, they can and they will overlap. And that is actually by repeating the steps regularly that you will become a proficient learner and a proficient speaker. As far as I know, there is not a single app that includes all 3 steps, AIS, but you could use a combination of apps to get those 3. However, because no app, to my knowledge, includes the first step, selection, which is absolutely critical. If you don't have the right first step, then you can't really build the rest. Then your results will be haphazard at best. So really what happens with apps, and to be honest, that also happens with most classes and most books, is that they hit the first hurdle when they fail to conduct the appropriate and personalized selection that each student needs. And of course, after you've hit the first hurdle, the rest of the race is going to be slow, tedious, and painful. So if you ever felt like you have been wasting your time on Duolingo, now you know why. So what can we do about it? Step 1, very important, reintroduce the selection. So this is the thing that I do as a French learning coach for my students, but I have also created some tools that you can use so you can do it by yourself. Specifically, this fluency worksheet, it is 2 pages. The first page gives you the steps to help you use the second page, and then the second page will serve as a roadmap for your study. And step 2, you want to use a combination of resources to make sure that all 4 steps are covered. You can use my ultimate guide to learning French with apps. By the way, these 2 resources are free and you can find them as part of the French Fluency Starter Kit, which you can download via the link in the description below if you want to have them. So you can use this ultimate guide to learning French with apps, not just for apps, but for also any resources. It is meant to be timeless. It is based on the SAIS principle, which I shared in this video. Those principles were already true 5,000 years ago when the Sumerians learned the Akkadian language. That was the first ever recorded experience of language learning by humans. But also, of course, the humans have learned languages a long time before. It's just they didn't have a writing system back then. And so it was true then, and it will still be true 1,000 years from now. It will never change because this is how the brain learns. So if you are learning a language, like if you are actually learning and you are being successful at learning, it's because you have gone through those steps, consciously or unconsciously. So you will, of course, be faster if you do it consciously and if you look for especially the first step, selection. So this guide includes more detailed explanation for each step, much more detailed than I gave you in this video. And it includes also 5 questions that you need to ask yourself about each resource that you are considering to include in your practice. So particularly an app. When you get a new app and you feel like, oh, this is cute, remember to go through those 5 questions in the guide to see if you need it and if it will actually help you. Again, if you want a copy, you can download it at frenchfluency.net/starterkit, or you have the link in the description below. And if you can remember only 2 things from this video, that should be this. 1, when you are learning something, whether it's a language or anything else, content beats method every time, as Tim Ferriss said it. It's not how you learn, it's what you learn that makes the biggest difference. 2, learning is a circular 4-step process. Consciously or unconsciously, you have to go through the 4 steps: selection, activation, immersion, and safe practice. If a step is missing, you won't get great results, but if all 4 steps are there, you will become an expert very rapidly. So thank you so much for being here with me and for watching this video until the end. If you have enjoyed this video, please click the like button and let me know what you think in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday at 1 p.m. like every week. Au revoir.